afternoon. Happy January 11th. Thank you for joining me for another 15 minutes with yours truly. I'm so glad you are here with me today. And how is everybody doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I heard that we are supposed to be getting some snow in the next few days. So I don't know if everybody's like running to the grocery store to get your supplies for I think they're saying a blizzard, uh, or if you're just going to hope for the best, hope that you have enough food in your house. I think I have enough food. I'm not sure if I have enough sweets, so I might have to stop off and get myself a couple of treats just to tide me over, just in case I can't get out. Anyway, glad you're here. Here's today's quote. I hope you enjoy it. It is Little January tapped at my door today and said, "Put on your winter wraps and come outside and play." Little January is always full of fun until the set of sun. Little January will stay a month with me and we will have such jolly time, which just come along and see. And that is Winifred C. Marshall. I thought it was a cute little, it's almost a poem almost. It's not quite a quote. So I liked it because in January is kind of that month where, again, I think I talked about it last week, where we kind of hunker down and hibernate and don't go out as much, but we can. And once the snow comes, we can go build a snowman. Did anybody see any snowmen this last go around with snow? I actually saw a couple of snowmen. It was real good packing snow that we had this last time. I'm not sure what we're going to get this time. I think I heard snow, rain, snow. So I don't know about any of that. But Chicago, I mean, if you've lived here your whole life, as I have, then you know that snow comes in the winter and you plan accordingly. You have your snow boots, you have your hat, you have your gloves. Usually, or sometimes, they're bears or Blackhawks or the like, and you just trudge through it. That's all. And then the weather changes eventually. Let's talk about last week's trivia questions. Did everybody get them right? I think we had some guessers last time, and I appreciated the input from my studio audience. Well, not my studio audience, but my online audience. Thank you for your participation. Appreciate it. The questions last week were, who was the first baseball player featured on the front of a box of Wheaties? And that was guessed last week correctly, and that was Michael Jordan from Chicago. Love Michael Jordan. He's my favorite. The second question, who was the first female artist to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Did you guys guess Aretha Franklin? Because that was the correct answer. Aretha Franklin. And I don't know what year that was. And I'm trying to think. I know a couple of Aretha Franklin songs, but I don't have any albums or maybe I'll listen to it on my Spotify. Do you guys recommend Aretha Franklin? Obviously, she's got to be good. She won. She was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So I'm going to have to circle back and really look into that a little bit deeper. And then the third question is, in what year did the first person cross the Niagara Falls on a tightrope? And again, I thought that was the goofiest thing that someone in their right mind would cross Niagara Falls on a tightrope. But people have done it more than once. And I gave you two choices, 1859 or 1758, and the correct answer was 1859. So thank you to all those who played. It was a bunch of fun for me. Let's move on to this week's trivia questions. These trivia questions are dedicated to the month of January. Last week's trivia questions were about firsts because it was the first month, and now we are talking about January. Any suggestions for next week's trivia questions? Please throw them out there. I'm always looking for input. Today's first trivia question: which state became a part of the United States in January of 1959? I almost feel like I should have music going in the background. Do, 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 do. But I know that you're answering the form of a question, but you can. Number two, January has two astrological signs. Anybody on here that was born in January, let me know, because you might know the answer to this one. I was not born in January, but the first astrological sign, or one of the astrological signs in January, is Capricorn. What is the other astrological sign? If you know, put it in the comments. And then last question that I have for you guys is, why was January named after the Roman god Janus? Janus. I think that's how you say his name, is Janus. So what are your guesses? Why do you think that he was named? Why do you think January was named after him? And good luck. January, as far as the real estate business goes, is really, it's popular for having a lot of expired listings, because a lot of times people will have their houses listed until January 1st. And not all houses sell the first time around, and that's okay. And when you put your house on the market around this time of year, you know, there's certain things, there's good and bad things about listing your house for sale around the holidays, right? And I know I've talked about it in previous videos about when you do sell your house during the holidays, there, you know, do's and don'ts of decorating, right? But, you know, during the holiday season, you know, it's a little tricky because people have a lot of things to do during the months of November and December. And so if you have your house on the market in, say, October, and you have a 3-month window listing to get your house sold, and it doesn't sell, it goes into an expired status unless you sign another agreement for an extended period of time with that same agent. But a lot of times people are just like, I just need a minute, right? I just need to collect my thoughts. I've been having my house shown for 3 months. I've had to keep it in clean condition, and sometimes sellers are just exhausted and they just want to take a break, and that's fine. You know, it's completely understandable. There's a lot of stressors that go into putting your house on the market, and then putting your house on the market during the holidays is an additional stressor in and of itself. So, you know, obviously it makes sense to just take a break. Just take a break for maybe a day or so. Evaluate what it was that worked and didn't work, and then I suggest that you put your house back on the market, either with that same agent or maybe with a different agent. You know, sometimes the reason that your house didn't sell is your agent was not doing their job. And I've said it before, we're not all the same. And there are agents that will just put their listing on the MLS, and that is all that they will do. And we are in a different kind of a market than we were in a year or so ago. And so it takes a little bit more knowledge, skill, tenacity to get properties sold. And so, you know, your realtor might or might not be a factor in your house getting sold. That's entirely for you to decide. But a couple of other reasons why your house might not have sold would be possibly price. And again, it's a conversation for you to have with your realtor and possibly another realtor. You might want to interview a second realtor and get their opinion on the price. Was it priced in line with the market. The market is like water. It flows. It's up, it's down, it's constantly moving. And so the price point from a week ago might be a completely different price point. And just like the interest rates are constantly changing. People are always asking me, what's the interest rate? What's today's interest rates? Well, I have to look because it's constantly changing. It's not constantly changing, but it does change. And it's not an answer that I can give today and have the same answer in a week from now because things change. So that might be one of the reasons that your house did not possibly sell the first time it went to an expired status. The other reason, it could be condition. During the holidays, buyers, they sometimes get distracted by holiday decor, especially if you have an abundance of it. And then sometimes it has to do with the house, you're ready to move, and so you're not sure always what you should do to really get the highest price point for your home, because you could invest more money than you need to get your house sold. A lot of buyers want move-in ready. They want updated cabinets. They want updated countertops. They want updated flooring. They want move-in ready. And if you've lived in your house for 15, 20 years and you haven't changed any of those things out, a buyer might say, this is just something that I don't want to take on. I would rather spend a little bit more on a house that's already completely renovated, or they might be on the other end of it and say, this house needs a lot of work, but what I would offer them would not be in line with what they're asking. So if you have a house and you're asking $250,000 for the house, and someone's looking at it and they're saying, well, I'm going to have to put $50,000 into the house, I would offer them $200 because that's their mindset. The likelihood that the seller is going to take $200, we don't know, but just something to think about. And again, it's something to have, it's a conversation that you have with your realtor about. Of course, if you need a realtor, I'm here for you, as always. The other thing that I was thinking was location. So there's not a lot you can do about location, right? But there are just some buyers that have, like, they're not interested. They're just not interested. It's like I've had buyers, more than one, have told me they do not want a corner house. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but there are just some buyers that just have no interest in getting a corner house. So if you have a house on a corner, they might not really, you might have fewer buyers. I just throwing it out there again. You might have, you might be on a busy street. You might be on a main street. That sometimes is more challenging than a residential house because of getting in and out of the driveway. If you have young children, obviously you don't want your young children maybe by a busy street, coming and going, in and out. So that could be, again, another reason that you might struggle to get your property sold. All houses have a selling point. All houses have a price point that will sell. And if you have a realtor who is working on your behalf and knows what they're doing and can come in and give you the facts and give you a fair market assessment of your property and market it on a high level, then you should be able to get your house sold. So if anybody watching had any struggles with getting their house sold the first time, give me a call. I'll be happy to help you with that. Or if you have any questions, of course, give me a call as well. I'll be happy to help you with that, as always. So I know I started this talking about the weather. I'm going to end it talking about the weather just because I want to know what your thoughts are. Are we going to get a blizzard? I want to know your predictions. Let me know in the chat. Do you think we will get the snowstorm of 2024, which was, and will it be in line with the snowstorm of, I think, 1967? I think that was like the last big snowstorm. I don't know about you guys, but I am kind of tired of being told that we're going to have a blizzard or we're going to have a snowstorm or whatever. They close the schools, they close the streets, they close the stores. I mean, they close the whole town down because they are ready for a snowstorm. And then what we end up getting, we just get flurries. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Either way, whether we get a snowstorm or not, always drive safe. I'm sure they'll have plenty of salt on the road, so no worries about that. But it's still slippery. It can get slippery, especially if we get the snow and the rain. And I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. And good luck answering my trivia questions. They are quite challenging this week. And if you guys need a realtor, I am your realtor of choice. And please give me a call. Or again, throwing out my yoga. If anybody here wants to do some yoga with me to help take away some stress, relieve some anxiety, whatever the case may be, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you. Until I see you guys next time, have a great day. Bye.